Thanks for staying with us. Now, we have a lot of successful athletes right here in our region, and we've got the chance to meet a lot of them right here on the show, including a high school track star from North Battleford who's pretty much unbeatable at the 1500 and 3000 races.
The spring of grade 9, my dad was actually living in a different town for work, so he wasn't at my track meets that year, and I just remember him saying, remember, you're stronger than all of them. And for 1500, I just remember beating them all. I definitely have always had endurance, and my one uncle always called me Speedy or Speedo when I was Turbo. My one uncle always called me Turbo when I was younger, and I can definitely keep going. The one thing is always like, whenever I have like pains in my hips or my ankles, that'll be like, hopefully you're growing, because I am. My legs are fairly short compared to a lot of girls that run track. But yeah, I definitely have the endurance. I can keep going.
When I went into labor with Michaela, from the time I went into labor and had her, it was like an hour and a half, and she came out really fast. And she's been very fast ever since.
Well, Michaela always was a kid who liked to run, and you know, I had run track when I was in high school and university, and so I wanted to see how my kids would do, and so I started to get them to run a little bit when they were younger, and she was the one who took to it the best.
I just feel like running is something that I can do, and I do it. It makes me feel good when I go out for a run.
In Vermillion, we met some really incredible youngsters, triathletes who were still in elementary school.
We started doing triathlons last year, and this year I was looking on the internet for road bikes, and yeah, I really wanted one, so I started.
I've only done one triathlon so far, but I really like it because it's really positive. Like, we're all just doing it for fun.
I started riding this 2 or 3 years ago, and then I started picking it up when we started doing triathlons.
They do cross-country skiing in the winter, and so they have a coach, and he's a triathlete as well, so he started them into it. He got them involved, and it's good cross-training for the summer months. I just think that it's great. I can't imagine when I was their age, I never would have done anything like this, and at my age I would never do anything like this. So I'm proud of them, and would just like to encourage them as much as I can. I'm there every time that they're competing, cheering for them, and when they train we come and watch, and you know, they're still young enough that they need us to bring them along, so yeah.
One of the coaches working with the triathlon group is Allison Jackson, an elite competitor in the sport.
Well, I've always been looking for a way to give back in my sport. When I was younger, I was in other sports here with the community and coaching and whatnot. And in a smaller community like this, sometimes it's hard for like triathletes maybe, whereas where I'm from, there's tons in BC. But I kept in contact with Vaughn Cooper, and one day I saw him cycling on the road, and so then we got talking, and he said that he had this group, and so I asked if I could help out whenever I could.
It's really fun. She's really supportive and gives you lots of tips.
And then we got to meet hometown heroes Jill Shumay and her team as they were gearing up to head to this year's Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
We formed this team last season, and Jill decided it was time to go back to skipping, which I'd been encouraging her to do, and I'd been curling in Alberta for a few years, so I said yeah, that I would come with her, and we wanted a young dynamic front end, which we found in Taryn and Janae, and so last season it was a season of getting to know each other, and we actually did fairly well at provincials last year. We got third, and we knew this year that we could build on that success, and so we were part of the Saskatchewan High Performance Program. We hooked up with Jean, our coach, who is just phenomenal, and we didn't have the best tour season, but we steadily improved, and we played well at Northerns, and then at provincials we just, we played one game at a time, and yeah, came out on top at the end of the week.
In the end, we knew what we had going into it and what we could do to come out of it, and that's exactly what we did.
And they know exactly why this rink works so well when they take to the ice together.
We have a lot of fun. We remember why we curl. We love to curl, we love the sport. and we love to be out there on the ice, and I think that makes all the difference.
Each of us are so independent, but we all have such a good sense of humor and personality that we all just mesh so easily.
I think we all get along really well. I think that's a big part of women's curling. I've played with a lot of players, and you can play with people that throw perfectly, but if you don't have the chemistry, it makes a big difference in your team, and we have a really great chemistry.
And along with great athletes, we also have a lot of great musicians right here in the area, and we'll meet a few of them when ATR returns after this quick break.